This is the TomCat EX37, our industrial heavy use external ride-on scrubber sweeper dryer. When filling the scrubber dryer, you have the main port here with a filter, or you can take this tube directly to your hose. When filling, you put both water and chemical into the same compartment. With the TomCat, they have clear recovery lids, so you can always see the recovery tank. Lift up the tank lid to gain access. Here you have the catch tray for large debris pieces, and the main recovery tank. Always advise the users to flush and wash out the recovery tank after every use. When closing the lid, ensure the seal is in place and tight, otherwise the vac will not engage. With emptying the machine, you have the recovery or wastewater hose. Empty down a suitable drain and slot it back in place. You also have the sight tube to see how full the water tank is, and this is also how you empty the water tank, by releasing and flushing out. Here we have some maintenance areas. Here we have a water filter, wastewater, water residue in the vac motor, air filter for the vac motor, and the battery runoff. This is clamped and sealed shut, so any lead acid that does run off won't release until the engineers come here and do the service. With charging the machine, you have a 240 volt regular 3-pin socket, and access to batteries is through this panel here. To change the brushes and the side squeegees, you have access on both sides through here. A pin releases the side squeegee. After every use, wipe and wash down to make sure it's clean from debris and clean for the next use. To access the brushes, this compartment here, where you can easily remove the brush, wash down after each use, replace, and slotting it back is just as simple. When putting the brush panel back on, ensure this clip is open, fit into the side of the brush, like so, and ensure this matches this hole, and the Allen key nut in here matches as well. And lock in place. Put back the side squeegee in place, get the R-bar, lock it in place so it's secure, put the side covering back on and lock in place. Repeat both sides. When changing or cleaning the squeegee blades, remove this pin here, lift the bar up and slot the pin back in place to lock the bar up. You now have access to the squeegee blades. You can now release and remove the bar itself for daily cleaning and wipe down of the squeegee bars. When cleaning and removing the squeegee bars, there's a pin release here. Pull this tab up and you can now slot the bar out of place, remove the squeegee bar, wipe it down, flip, or we will replace as needed during our service visits. To put the squeegee bar back in place, slot each hole into the correct position, slide to the right, this bar in there, and it slots in, and don't forget to put the pin to lock it all in place. This other side of the squeegee bar, slightly different. Simply lift up this catch to remove the metal guards, flip and replace and clean the squeegee bar. When putting back, ensure the metal slots are all in place and reclamp to attach. When putting the squeegee bar back in place, attach the vac tube so you're all ready to go. Slot in place on the side here and screw till the squeegee bar is locked in place and secure. And then remove this side pin, put the bar back down and put the pin back in place to secure the bar. With the controls of the motor scrubber, you have your ignition switch here and you have the lazy boy button, which engages the brush deck and the vac motor in one button. With the controls of the TomCat, you have your drive or reverse, you have your vacuum on or off, you have a controls for your brush deck on or off, you have a toggle for the brush pressure and toggle for water flow. These lights ignite if the waste recovery tank is full, if the tank is empty, and if the vac has no suction. With the switches on the side here, you have the Econ key, which allows you to change the decibels from quiet to loud on the machine. You have the management lock-off switch, so with the manager's key, you can set the brush and water flow and lock them off so that operators don't have to change the model themselves and they can just get in and clean. These two switches here, we have the sweeper brushes, which put them into action or turn them off, or we have a switch for headlights. On the side of the steering column, you have a horn and emergency stop. With steering, you have adjustment here for the hinge of the steering wheel, and you also have the driver acceleration pedal. When using the motor scrubber, very simple. Remove from its holding. You can now access hard to reach areas under benches, around bins that the main machine cannot reach. You have a switch on the bottom that you click on. When using the motor scrubber, you have two switches, blue for solution and red to engage the scrub. When you want to use the vac part of the motor scrubber, first you must remove the vac hose from the squeegee bar and replace it onto the vac hose of the motor. Vac hose is attached to the motor scrubber. Ensure your switch is down in the on position. Go to the control board and turn the vac motor on for the main machine, and you can then scrub, dry and collect water with the motor scrubber. After using the motor scrubber, take the vac tube off the motor scrubber and replace back onto the squeegee bar.